it was a special time for me because your world's turned upside down, and I just found happiness and a lot of love, if you like, through my artwork. Good evening, my name's Jason Turner and I am a mixed media self-taught artist. My background is engineering for the best part of 25 to 30 years. What's led me to where I am today is unfortunately bad health, believe it or not. So let's start from the beginning. Engineering. I travelled throughout the UK working under different plants, different companies. I basically worked instrumentation, pipe work for example, pharmaceutical companies, beverages, and the work I was doing was very physical. So you would flip the helmet on your head at times. It was a bit strenuous on your neck. Very physical, lying underneath different steel works. And after many years, it took its toll on my body. Of course, you take the odd painkiller and whatnot, and you work through it. But initially, it caught up with me eventually, and that's basically left me to go to hospital. So it was a little bit scary going in an ambulance for the first time for me. Drove me to hospital, and away they went with MRI scans. They came back and said it's not very good, to be honest with you. I had a C4 and a C7 discs in my neck were perished. 2 discs in my back were gone. Trapped nerve in my left arm, and I had a leg problem. And the nervous system pretty much had shut down. I couldn't walk, I couldn't move. So they kept me into hospital. But at least now we knew what was wrong, but I just wish I'd done something about it a lot earlier. Moving on from that, they'd done their diagnosis, and the first operation they'd done was in Bristol, and it was the C7. They basically go in through the neck, make an incision. It's not very nice, but this is my story. So they go in through the neck, and they took a disc out the back of my neck. It's a bit of a scary time, not a very nice operation at all. Following on from that, I had my back done, and it was a long recovery, best part of 3 years, to be honest with you. And that's where the painting started, really. I mean, I've always painted, don't get me wrong, from a very young age, but it was a special time for me because your world's turned upside down, and I just found happiness and a lot of love, if you like, through my artwork. So yeah, it's strange really. I just picked up the paintbrush and it went from there really. I started doing a few different pictures, and we had close friends that were into their art, a bit arty. And then one chap, he'd come round to my property and he asked to buy a painting. So I thought, well, that's quite nice, you know, it's for someone to see that in you, that you can paint. So from that I continued painting. Then family and friends were purchasing, and eventually someone said to me, you know, why do you not, like, when you get yourself better, why not do this for a living? And yeah, I thought, why not? Yes, the rehabilitation, very difficult, very difficult. 3 years it took, and I painted. Painting got me through it. You know, I will get to this further on in the video, but I've done 5 shows this year, and one particular question that stands out was a chap asked me, what motivates you to paint? And I had to stop and think, you know, what is it that your inspiration for you? Because each painting you leave a part of yourself actually in the painting, you know, and it came to me and he told me something here, and it was happiness. Painting makes me happy. I can't. You're shut away in a room on your own. with the music going, and there's no one bothering you, and you can just express yourself without anybody having an opinion or telling you what to do. And yeah, this painting has got me through this basically. But if I just come back a little bit, we had friends come to the property, and they were art lovers, and they started off, they bought one, but within a few weeks they had 2-3 paintings from me. I had family members buying them, and it was a bit of a no-brainer. I couldn't go back doing what I was doing before physically, obviously, and it made me happy. So and I thought, you know, I've got to pursue this and take on board what people close to me and cared for me suggested I do, and I took this forward really, and that's what's led me to where I am today. Abstract painting is, I find it easy. Abstract, especially people, faces, lots of colour. Everything I do is with colour. Life's too short, so we've got to have lots of colour. Wake up in the morning and see colour in your home, and it just brings delight to me. So I have done a great deal of abstract people painting, but I love my resin work. That's truly where I'm at my happiest. And funny enough, the more you play about with different mediums, whether it be resin or acrylics, by making your mistakes, you come across different textures and ways of doing things that eventually makes you the artist you are. And that's what's happened with me. And I look upon that as being quite lucky, because I know some people seem to struggle to know where they lie with their art, whether it be portrait, landscape. And I think I found myself fairly quickly. There's different textures and techniques that I'm bringing to the market that I feel that are unique. I always ask to see if anybody else is doing it, and especially the texture that I use, I've not found it yet. So that's what I'm going to stick with, and that's what I enjoy. Moving on from that, shows really. I thought, you know, I need to invest in shows moving forward. I need to establish myself, and I'm well aware that this takes a good few years to do, and I'm prepared to put the time and effort into it. I started off this year by doing the Bath Art Fair. I've done the Goodwood Art Fair, Sandown, Chelsea and Titled. And not long I finished doing the other art fair in London, which was absolutely fabulous. They were all great. So looking forward to going back to that next year. And it was brilliant. Just met friends. It's an all different life of meeting new people. It builds your confidence, and I believe that I'm getting my life back, you know, and the people and friends that you meet along the way, it's just priceless. It really is priceless. So yeah, I wouldn't, it's a strange one it is, because I would never wish bad health on myself or anyone else. But if it hadn't have been for the bad health, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. Don't get me wrong, I struggle each day, like a lot of us do. I take certain medications for my health, but on the whole, the friends that I've made along the way in such a short space of time is priceless. You know, to be doing something that you truly love, and you put your heart and soul in, you live in it 24 hours a day, and every artist out there knows exactly what I'm talking about. And it's not easy, you know, we're all struggling to get somewhere, but you know, I've got a reason to make this be successful for me. I've been doing it a long time, but I've been doing it 3 years now as a permanent job. And I've done well this year. I'm doing well, you know, and I just love what I'm doing. So yeah, I hope it just keeps progressing, and eventually we'll get there. So I'd like to leave it on a note that I've got 2 commissions that I'm presently doing. My next show will be in February. Collaborations, I've done Chepstow Racecourse with the owners and trainers. All my artwork's been in there. I'm currently doing Leaf and Ground. Big shout out to Leaf and Ground in the foothills of the Cotswolds. So 2 pictures there yesterday, 1 the week before. So I can't complain, it's happy days. The other thing I'd like to add also is because of my background, I make all my panels by hand. And I put this forward, but it's because it's always good for the people that like something a little bit bespoke or one-off, for example. I build all my panels so I can do any size. Fortunately for me, before I wasn't well, I have a studio that I built previously. So if there's someone looking for example, for a commission piece of 8 foot by 3, I can build that. I build the panel. I do all my work on hardboard panels because a canvas will tear. And with the help of a friend, for large artwork, I will deliver the work to the property and we hang it all in with the price. So it's good for the customer then, because you know, with that you see the job right through. We talk to the customer, we talk about different palettes, different textures, and I can put something bespoke together and deliver it on a proper timing. I can hang it into the property, and it's happy days. And I love the fact that I can just fall back a little bit on all those years of engineering and just tweak about with it to put that in with my painting, and it all flows nicely. And I can do it in my own time too. So I hope you enjoyed this video and it's give you a little bit of an insight into who Jason Turner is, and maybe one day we'll meet in person. So from me, thank you.